Petition of Delta Rho to Pi Beta Phi. We, the undersigned students of the Delta Rho sorority, founded in the University of Nevada on March 12, 1900, do hereby respectfully petition Pi Beta Phi fraternity for a charter. Should this charter be granted, Delta Rho pledges her best efforts towards the maintenance of the name and standards of Pi Beta Phi. Pearl Stinson, Jessie Heilton, Lorena Elizabeth Marzin, Ruth Miller, Elsie Hers, Ada Hussman, Lena Layden, Emma Hers, Juanita Frey, Dorothy Morrison, Elsie Farrer, Eva Walker, Margaret Kemper, Ruth Pyle, Faith Maris, Hilda Hers, Myrtle Cameron, Phoebe King, Gladys Jones, Grace Cox, Alice Hobbins.
Pi Beta Phi to thee, our blessed fraternity. We wave thy colors brave on high and fling them out across the sky.
Well, for Rush, I was gonna go to another sorority. I was a legacy for another sorority, so in my mind, I'd already thought it was a done deal.
I came from Ely, small town, and actually, I was one of two girls that graduated from White Pine High School and came over here, but the other girl didn't go through Rush, so I was by myself.
I think growing up in a small town, you're just not accustomed to everything that goes on with sorority life or Greek life.
Rush was a very intense period.
Rushing Pi Phi was a great experience, just walking into the house and automatically feeling welcomed from all the girls.
We had to wear a suit and gloves.
Each day they told you what to wear, and I significantly were the most overdressed person every single day.
It was a whirlwind, and we went through the whole, I don't know how many parties, we went through a whole bunch of parties.
On skit night, throughout all the years that I was going through, from going in through Rush and then also being on the other side, we decorated it to where you couldn't even tell that it was a basement.
It was the grease scene. We practiced and practiced and practiced. It was, we had the T-Birds and then the Pink Ladies, and we'd practice. We never could get it right.
One year it was Legally Blonde themed, the next year it was Harry Potter themed, and the year that I was rushing it was Alice in Wonderland.
But once we had to perform it during for Rush, it was right on and it was great, and we had such a good time.
When I stepped out of the door for the last on pref night, I knew I couldn't not come back.
And I remember looking at these girls from California and Reno and thinking to myself, they're so sophisticated. I don't think I'm dressed right. I don't know if I can fit in.
Some of those songs I still can sing to this day.
As it came closer and closer to thinking about pledging, I thought to myself, I don't know if I can do this. I might just have to go back to Ely and go to work in the hardware store.
Feelings of bid day. It was a lot of feelings all at once.
Bid day was kind of a bed of mixed emotions.
Bid day was insane.
Bid day was really exciting.
We had the biggest pledge class. There was 51 girls in our class.
At first, I wasn't sure about Pi Phi. I wasn't sure if I was going to get Pi Phi. I was kind of nervous, actually. I was more of like a dorky, nerdy kind.
Because all of the sorority houses were all decorated.
So it was just this mad rush of girls, and everyone was so excited about who they were going to go to, what house.
I happened to have been a legacy at another house, and while I really liked the girls at that house. There was something when I walked through the doors at Pi Phi that just made me feel like this is home.
We're just standing like in the quad and we're opening up all of our cards, and we're not supposed to peek, but you know, we're like trying to like go through the envelope and like see our names, and I can see like Pi Phi on there, and I'm starting to like get excited, but nobody called out anything yet, so I just had to like kind of maintain it.
When you come down Sierra Street, you would run to the house that you were invited to, and then everyone just kind of swallows you up, and you know, and you just instantly feel like you belong.
Well, Heidi and I moved in together on bid day, so we pledged the same day. We got to move into the house in the same day, which is rare for pledges to get to move in on bid day. So we were excited. We lived in the 8-man together, the 4-man together, and all those other rooms. So we're pretty happy that we're still friends, and we have lots of memories together.
So I had to go home and say, Mom, I'm a Pi Phi, but she was wonderful and went and bought me a Pi Phi shirt, and a couple of her other friends had the same experience. So it ended up just fine. And once she got to know the girls that I pledged with, she said, I get it.
Living in the house was an adventure, actually, with the fraternities breaking into the house and having to hide in the closet or in the bathroom.
Living in the house was really interesting because there was so many girls, and I felt like I gained my best friends just from living in the house.
I grew up an only child, so then I had immediately 26 roommates, which was very interesting.
We had dinner together every night, and we had a lot of fun with the houseboys.
I lived in both the 4-room and the 8-room, and the 8-room was kind of a zoo with a million girls and one closet, and everybody's clothes being everybody's clothes.
So we just called, she said, Marianne started this and said, we're going to have a new organization, and it's called the Mystic Organization of Bimbo, you know, the bird. And so the only way you could get into the door, you had to knock on the door, and then she said, what's the sign? And you flip the bird, and then you were entered into the 3rd floor.
You know, you're up at all hours of the night, you are doing things, there's always someone to do something with, no matter what it was. And I think that was the best. It was like the sisters I never had.
It was fun when in the middle of the night the fire escape would be clanged down and the fraternity guys would run through the house and wake us all up.
I think it was an interesting time when I lived here because I was in the 4-man, but there was only 3 of us. And so we actually had a rotating bed. So being raised an only child made it very interesting because you're not used to having 2 other roommates, let alone a rotating roommate included in that.
There was a group of girls that would cut class on Fridays and hang out in the basement and eat ice cream and watch soap operas.
Always someone to talk to, someone to go out with, just someone always there for you.
Next year I lived in the room over the window in the 2nd floor looking out the front and nearly flunked out of school because I could never find a place to study. So I had to move back home and made my sister stay in the house the rest of the years.
For some reason, no one wanted to go out. It was like a Friday night or something, and I don't know if we were burned out or halfway through the semester or what, but we were all in the 8-man, just hanging out for the evening, you know, painting toenails, doing things like that. And we heard this really weird sound outside. So we rushed to one of the windows, and in the front yard, tied to a tree is one of the fraternity guys. I think he was from ATO, and he was bound to the tree with phone wire, and his boxer shorts were down around his ankles.
We used to watch the comings and goings up the front walk, and it was just a good place to be.
You look north, you look south, you look east, you look west for the girls who are charming and always the best. You look here, you look there, you look high, you look low for the girls who are peppy and ready to go. At the end of your search, you surely will find Pi Beta Phi at the head of the line. So here's to the girls who always aim high, for they follow the arrow of Pi Beta Phi.
House moms miss Yo. She's a tough cookie, absolutely.
She was always on us about curfew, being in the house too late, causing a storm, but one of the fondest memories I have is 4 of us were in the basement watching a movie, and she brought down homemade lemonade, popcorn, homemade cookies, and she truly was a mother to us.
The first house mother at Pi Phi when I moved in was Terry, and she was a beauty queen from Idaho.
We had a couple of different house moms, and that was always kind of an interesting relationship. You're so grateful that they're there, and then some of them had some quirks.
Okay, it was Mrs. Cobb when I moved in, and it was in the 8-man. And I just moved in, and I heard one of our Mag 7 girls saying, well, she always adjusts the temperature of the house for the bird downstairs, Bimbo. And so she said, Cheryl, I think it's about time we went downstairs and took care of this matter. And so we started down, and we got down to the end of the stairs, and Mrs. Cobb's room was right there. And of course, I couldn't go through with it. She wanted to, I don't know, do him in, I guess. But all of a sudden I got laughing. I said, I can't do this.
I remember one of them would leave notes for us taped to the banister.
My favorite memory with her, I actually set off the fire alarm in Pi Phi, and the fire truck came, and she was just like, who the heck did this? And everybody's like, Nolan, like just yelling at me, and then she had our back. She's like, oh, my girls didn't do anything. I think it's a misunderstanding.
But she was also incredibly thoughtful. She actually knitted me some booties with some pom-poms.
Now the word Pi Phi means glamour, for the girls drive all men wild. But the girl in herself is her mother's angel child. She is pretty because pretty is as pretty does, and a Pi Phi is an angel in disguise. Pi Beta Phi, Pi Beta Phi, Pi Beta Phi, Pi Beta Phi. Oh, Pi Phi is an angel in disguise. They all agree in every good fraternity that a Pi Phi is an angel in disguise.
Well, I think it was working on the floats for homecoming.
I think the most significant event for me was initiating my sister, Christina Heitzenrader.
Well, you know, every year we had a song team, and there were 8 of us, and we practiced every afternoon, and then for Mackey Day, you all sang, and for 3 years we were on the song team.
We worked with the Sigma News, and my then boyfriend and now husband of 51 years was the chairman of the float committee.
My mom was there, my aunt was there, and it was the most touching moment, being able to watch her go through something that was so significant to me and to be a part of that and to bring her into a world that was so special, and I knew she was going to thrive in this world and thrive in college, and it was just a real poignant moment for me.
And it was a wonderful experience. We sang in 4-part harmony with 8 of us, and I remember those wonderful ladies that we worked with, so it was a great time.
1, 2, 3 words carved on a golden dart. 1, 2, 3 words worn over my heart. 1, 2, 3 words, love them until I die. 1, 2, 3 words, Pi Beta Phi.
My favorite Pi Phi song, wow, they're all my favorites, especially inappropriate ones.
Music has always been a favorite part of mine, Pi Phi music. For almost every national convention since 1989, I've played the piano or run the song contest or directed the music. So music is a very important part of Pi Phi.
When I had my daughter, and she would be up in the night, I couldn't think of any songs or any nursery rhymes, and realized I don't know any of this, but the songs I did know were Pi Phi songs, and so I would sing Speed Be My Arrow, Goodbye, Goodbye, all of the different ones.
I am a P, I would say, because that to me symbolizes exactly who I am, what I'm a part of, and really kind of captures what Pi Phis are and what they're about, really.
Take a little golden arrow, take a little wine and blue, take a little bit of loyalty shining through, take a little bit of ring,
Pi Phi gave me valuable experiences in leadership.
Pi Phi has helped me realize a lot of things, especially after college. And I would say the one thing that it really taught me was to appreciate.
As an adult, Pi Phi has helped me tremendously. There's so many wonderful people that I've met on the Alum Club and through Housing Corps. And I just can't believe there's so many wonderful Pi Phis that weren't in my class or weren't with me in school. So it's just great.
Appreciate your sisters, appreciate outside friends, appreciate your family, and also appreciate all the experiences you go through, the good and the bad, because all of them make you a stronger person at the end of the day.
Being chapter president in '97 and in '96 being Panhellenic president, those experiences helped me make a lot of connections and just helped me in my career as a teacher through the leadership responsibilities and those connections that I made.
I belong to the Pi Beta Phi, ring ching. I wore a gold arrow so shiny, the symbol of sisterhood ties. Ring ching, ring ching ching, ring ching ching. Pi Beta Phi, Pi Beta Phi, Pi Beta Phi. Ring ching ching, ring ching ching. Pi Beta Phi. I belong to the Pi Beta Phi, ring ching. No longer a student at college, I still love the name of Pi Phi. Ring ching, I still wear the arrow so shiny. It brings back fond memories.
Being an alumni is one of the greatest things.
My special memories are my friendships. Even though we're spread out through the states, we still get together. It's like we've never been apart.
My favorite memory of Pi Phi has to be the day that I get weepy. My eldest daughter initiated my youngest daughter, and my sister and I were both there.
Other thing that's been very special as an alum is my daughter pledged Pi Phi, so that was a special moment.
We have about 10 of us that meet regularly. We're all, we started out as just graduating, getting new jobs, kind of starting our career, then it turned into us getting married, then it turned into us getting pregnant and getting ready to have babies. Now we're all moms. Some of us are all are moms. Some of us are still trying to figure things out, but we all get together and we support each other and we laugh. Most importantly, we laugh and we tell funny stories about our college days.
Pi Phi lights anew the flame of friendship true, the joy of having known you will last our whole life through.
I remember a lot because I was the co-chair of the 75th anniversary along with Penny White Mayer. And we were the co-chairs, but the best part is Carolyn Lichtenberg, who was the grand president, came for our 3 days. And we became very good friends. Sometimes it feels like the grand president is somebody out there that you really don't have contact with other than in name only. She and I became very good friends. And at the last convention in 2013 in San Diego, we both sat at the Golden Arrow table, which means we'd been in Pi Phi for 50 years, and looked at each other and said, how did this happen?
Another fond memory was the 75th. I co-chaired it with Janine Funk. She was the alum, I was the collegian in the house. And we worked so well together. We had so many things, exciting things happen. We had people come from out of the area. The night of the event was so magical, and that stuck with me, and I cannot wait for the 100th because the 75th just turned out so special with Janine and I doing it together.
The 75th was a great time. And here we are at the 100th. And I remember saying at the 75th when my mom was there, many of her friends, and they were hand addressing all of the invitations. And I said, and I was chairman, and we had sweatshirts, we had everything. And I said, and when the 100th comes along, I'm going to be in charge of mailing. Well, now we're working on the 100th, and guess who's in charge of mailing? It would be me.
My Pi Phi girl, I love you deep, I do, my Pi Phi girl. To the wearers of the wine and blue, I'm loyal and
Pi Phi means to me having a wonderful connection with a great group of women.
Being a Pi Phi means a lot to me. It's everything. It's my best friend.
I think probably friendship.
It means so much. I can't even, it impacted me in so many different ways.
Being a Pi Phi to me is so many things. It's having sisters, I don't have a sister, having a huge group of sisters, having best friends, having people that I've gone through amazing journeys with, good times, bad times, happy times, sad times, but we're really a family. So it's like having this extended family that went well beyond the years that I spent up at the university.
The friendships I have, the person I am today, I learned so much from the experience. I feel like, particularly having been president and been in leadership roles, I can work with almost anybody because you learn to live with a lot of different personalities, and you can appreciate there's something good in everyone. And I feel like that's one of the great things about Pi Phi is that even if someone wasn't exactly like me, I had this shared affinity with them, and we had a great time as sisters.
Having been a Pi Phi for over 50 years, I have Pi Phi friends all over the country because I had a national position. I still see all my wonderful Nevada Alpha sisters, and then again, having 2 Pi Phi daughters and a Pi Phi sister, it's like the icing on the cake.
My favorite quote is, from the outside looking in, you can never understand it, and from the inside looking out, you can never explain it.